Hello, here are 3 special stories from Bananas in Pyjamas and their friends in Cuddles Avenue. You can read along with us, and when you hear this sound, turn the page of your book. Hide and Seek. One morning the Bananas in Pyjamas came over to the Teddy's house for a game of cricket. But just as they were about to go outside, it started to pour with rain. They put their cricket bats away, and then they all tried to think of what they could do instead.
Are you thinking what I'm thinking, B1?
I think I am, B2. It's hide and seek time.
The Teddies ran off to hide while the Bananas counted to 10. But the Bananas were not very good at counting.
Where do we start, B1?
With 1, I think, B2. But what comes next?
It's going to take us a long time to count to 10, B1.
A very, very long time, B2.
Talking of time made the Bananas look at the clock.
We can count the numbers on the clock, B1.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5,
6, 7, 8, 9,
10! Coming! Ready or not!
The Bananas shouted together as they raced off to find the Teddies. The Bananas were sure they knew where the Teddies were hiding.
I think they're under the table, B1.
I think you could be right, B2.
But when they bent down to have a look, there was no one there. B1 noticed something very odd about the curtains.
Do curtains usually have feet, B2?
Curtains don't, B1, but Teddies do.
The Bananas threw open the curtains and there was Amy.
You may have found me, Bananas, but can you find Morgan and Lulu?
The Bananas couldn't see Morgan or Lulu anywhere.
What we need, B2, is some light on the problem.
Good idea, B1. Turn on that lamp.
But the lamp wasn't a lamp. It was Morgan hiding under a lampshade.
Boo!
Now all the Bananas had to do was to find Lulu. The Bananas in Pyjamas looked everywhere they could think of, but they couldn't find Lulu anywhere at all.
She's not over here, B1.
And she's not over here, B2.
The Bananas even looked out of the window.
Will you look at that, B1?
It stopped raining, B2.
We can play cricket after all,
said Morgan. The Bananas, Amy and Morgan decided to get their cricket bats right away. They could come back and find Lulu later. But when they went to get their cricket bats, there was a big surprise for them.
Anyone for cricket?
Said Lulu as she jumped up. Everyone agreed that Lulu had found the best hiding place of all. Fancy dress. The Bananas in Pyjamas had a big problem. They had been invited to a fancy dress party, but they had no fancy dress to wear. So they went round to the Teddy's house to see if they could help.
Don't worry, Bananas,
said Lulu.
Us Teddies know all about making fancy dress.
But first the Bananas had to decide what they were going to dress up as.
I want to go as a pirate,
said B1.
But I want to go as a pirate too,
said B2. They agreed that they couldn't both go as pirates.
We would look ridiculous if we were both dressed the same.
I'm going to the party as a queen, B2.
Said Amy.
Why don't you go as a king?
What a terrific idea, Amy. I think I'd make an excellent king,
said B2. Amy and Morgan found everything they needed to make the Bananas' fancy dress. There was an old pair of trousers, a torn shirt and a piece of rope for B1's pirate outfit, and a broken chair, a red bedspread, some cardboard and a jar of beads for B2's king's costume.
I can't can't imagine what Amy and Morgan are going to do with all that old junk, B1.
Neither can I, B2.
The teddies set to work with scissors and glue, while the bananas looked on in astonishment.
I hope these teddies know what they're doing, B2.
Just what I was thinking, B1.
Come and try these on, B1,
Said Amy, holding up a pair of raggedy trousers.
And you try this on for size, B2.
Said Morgan, holding up the red bedspread.
But we'll look so silly wearing those things.
Said the bananas.
Oh, come on, bananas.
Said Amy.
Don't you want to go to the party?
Of course we do.
Said B1.
Bananas love parties.
Said B2.
Then stop being silly and put your costumes on.
Said Morgan.
They'll look great.
I will if you will, B1.
And I will if you will, B2.
At last, everyone was ready to go to the fancy dress party. Lulu was dressed as a beautiful fairy. Morgan made a very funny clown, while B1 was a very convincing pirate. And everyone agreed that B2 and Amy were a very royal king and queen. So, at the king's command, they went off to the fancy dress party, where they all had a wonderful time. Dreamtime. One evening, the teddies were camping out in the park. In case they got hungry, Amy had brought along a tin of cheese and biscuits.
This cheese is so delicious,
Said Amy as she helped herself to yet another piece.
Some people say that the moon is really made of cheese.
Said Morgan.
Oh, Morgan, no one could believe that.
Said Lulu.
Wouldn't it be great to be an astronaut and fly to the moon?
Said Amy.
I'd love to do that.
It was time for the teddies to go to sleep.
Good night, Morgan. Good night, Emmy.
Good night, Lulu. Good night, Morgan. Good night, Moon.
Said Amy as she lay down, still clutching her tin of cheese and biscuits.
Sweet dreams, everyone.
Said Morgan, and soon they were all fast asleep. Amy's eyes opened with a start. She looked around. There was no sign of Lulu or Morgan, and this definitely wasn't the park.
What's happened? Oh, where am I?
She cried, and then she realised where she was.
I'm on the moon! But how did I get here? And where's my tin of cheese and biscuits? I've got nothing to eat!
Just then the bananas in pyjamas appeared.
Oh, bananas, am I pleased to see you?
Said Amy.
But what are you doing here on the moon?
We're collecting moon rocks.
Said B1.
They taste just like cheese.
Said B2, and he handed Amy a piece of moon rock. Amy took a little nibble. It was true. The rock tasted just like cheese.
Of course it does.
Said B1.
Everyone knows the moon is made of cheese.
Amy spotted something lying on the ground. It was one of her biscuits. She bent down to pick it up, and she saw another biscuit, and another, and another.
Come on, bananas. I think these biscuits could lead somewhere.
Amy and the bananas followed the biscuit trail, and it led them right to Rat in a Hat, who was clutching Amy's tin and munching on her cheese and biscuits.
Caught you red-handed, rat!
Said Amy.
Oh, cheese and whiskers,
Said Rat.
Looks more like cheese and biscuits to me, B2.
Give me back my tin of cheese and biscuits, rat.
Said Amy.
but I'm so hungry.
Said Rat in a Hat.
I'm hungry too.
Amy grabbed hold of the tin and tried to pull it away from Rat, but Rat just wouldn't let go.
Give me my tin. Give me my tin.
Wake up, Amy! Wake up!
Amy opened her eyes and found Lulu shaking her awake.
Where's Rat? Where's the bananas? I was on the moon, and Rat was trying to steal my cheese and biscuits,
said Amy.
That was just a bad dream,
said Morgan.
You can go back to sleep now,
said Lulu. Amy gave Lulu the tin of cheese and biscuits.
You better look after this, Lulu. I wouldn't want Rat to get hold of it again.
Then Amy went back to sleep to dream about the moon once more.